Madden Corda. Look, I knew my post wouldn't be taken well by some yesterday, and that's fine. I was expecting it. I'm not going to spend my time arguing with people individually, okay? I respect that everyone's entitled to their own opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. Now, I am extremely happy to see somebody with a very powerful platform, a big worldwide platform that is speaking out for Ireland. I'm delighted to see that, and I will 1,000,000% get behind that, because the people that are being paid to do it aren't doing it. They are the cause of the destruction, and they're helped by and propagated and supported by the media and by the NGOs, and the whole country is being absolutely destroyed. Now, if you don't like Conor McGregor, that's your prerogative, right? But naming out things to me and saying, what about this and what about that, I'll just keep coming back with the same thing. What about the enormous number more of this? What about this? What about that? You know? I mean, it's like the fight over the north and south again, you know? Like people cutting off their nose to spite their face. Oh, I can't stand with this because of this. What about this massive greater evil that this person is fighting? Look, lads, we all have a past. We've all made mistakes. There's none of us perfect. Him, me, you, any of us. We're all included in that. But to know that you've made mistakes, right? And to still stand up and still speak out, knowing that you'll be vilified, annihilated because of it, and to still do it, I think that's quite brave. The people who have been speaking out for the last few years have faced vigilante terror because of it. I'm sure a lot of us never envisaged that, you know, it would entail such dirty tactics as death threats or slashed tires or, you know, having to put cameras outside our houses. Like, it was absolutely crazy, the lengths that people went to try and destroy people, to try and discredit people. But we all chose that path, and we all chose to walk it, knowing what would happen and what could happen. Now, I don't think I realised it would get half as fucking dirty and nasty as it did, but would I do it all again? Yeah, in a heartbeat, because my soul wouldn't have it any other way. And the fact is that Conor knows what he's facing, but he's doing it anyway. He has the means to just sail off into the sunset and say, fuck this, adios lads. And he's not. He's choosing to do the right thing. He's choosing to stand up for the people that nobody else will stand up for. He's choosing to stand up for the voiceless, the vulnerable, and for the ones that should be protected. So look, I'm not going to continue like the individual kind of arguments back and forth. I'm focusing on the positives, and right now I'm elated that finally our country is being recognised, that finally someone is actually stepping in to help, that finally we have some sort of reprieve in this doom and gloom that has latched onto us for such a long time. Look, if the government doesn't like you, the media doesn't like you, and they'll throw out every single narrative they can, right? So it is important to remember that they are very biased, right? And they'll never cover any of the good things that people that are far right considered, you know. They'll never talk about it. They'll never talk about our attributes to any of the good things that we do. For example, does any of them talk about how Conor has built whole housing estates, and given them to the people of Dublin for feck all? Yeah, he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't gloat about it, you know. But there are lots of things that people do behind the scenes that they're not shouting about. So when the mainstream media is trying to push their narrative, it's important that we push back and show that there are two sides to every story.